Why are you the way that you are? Honestly, every time I try to do something fun or exciting, you make it not that way. I hate so much about the things that you choose to be.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of the Morose Project. I'm Brad Rosen.
I'm Erickson and Searles.
Oh crap, he's back again.
You damn right.
I was joking, but kind of serious. Like, if we do a couple more episodes, you'll tie Aaron for how many episodes I've had with a co-host.
That is undeniably sexy.
Yeah.
For me.
And don't worry, Aaron will eventually be back. You know, he's busy.
I gotta meet this guy still. I'm kind of taking over his show, and I feel kind of guilty because
that would be the ultimate episode, to have you guys both on one episode together. That would be fun.
Maybe like a drum roll, like.
What I should do is I should have an episode where it's just the two of you and I'm not even here.
I don't know, like, I don't even know if I want to say that.
I know, that's why it would be funny to me. It might not be funny to anybody else, but I'd laugh.
You're like, hey, so, what do you want to talk about?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, I think it'd be fun. But yeah, for sure, one of these days, we need to get you two in a room together, because that would be awesome. And we have to record it as well.
Really sexy.
But yeah, you know, I've kind of unofficially, but so I'll make it official. Like, you could be like the alternate co-host. I mean, you pretty much are already. Now this is your fourth
or
time,
fifth,
I think. I mean, technically, I guess it's only your third, but
and you guys
since
obviously
the other one I split in two, that kind of makes it your fourth.
Yeah, well, you guys obviously haven't got sick of me yet because you're still watching it, which I thank you, honestly. I know that it's weird having somebody that you really don't know. Like, I've been friends with Brad for years, and he's like my brother, basically. And I know you probably know Aaron probably more because, I mean, they started this whole thing, but I still thank y'all for watching it and supporting Brad and him, even though he's not here.
Yeah, it's very much, I mean, like, I've told Aaron multiple times, if he ever wants to record an episode, like, with just him and somebody else, like, that's totally fine with me. So it's very much both of our shows. It's just, right now, I happen to be steering the ship, I guess you could say.
You guide that ship, sir.
But, yeah, I don't know. It's fun. And I'm glad. I'm just happy to not have to do it by myself, because I was getting to the point where before, you know, the first time you were on, I was getting to the point where I was like, well, I got to do something here. And I didn't really have anybody else to come on. But I'm excited because I'm actually, like, while I'm down here for the weekend, I'm going to try and record a couple. We're going to do another one tomorrow. Because tomorrow we're going to go see Doctor Strange.
Woo!
Which, I'm super excited for, but to be honest, I can't really tell you why, because I don't know a whole lot about the character. I guess it's mostly, like, for the same reason I was excited for Guardians of the Galaxy, which is basically just, you know, Marvel does well with its movies, so I put my trust in Marvel. And I don't think this one will be a disappointment either.
That looks really good. I was blown away when I first saw that trailer.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty stoked for it though. I know. I don't know. Like, I mean, I guess he's popular because he keeps popping up in movies and TV shows, but I'm not really that familiar with Benedict Cumberbatch. I know he's on Sherlock on PBS or BBC or wherever it is, and he played Khan in Star Trek 2, even though they told you like the whole time he wasn't Khan, and then halfway through that movie they were like, oh yeah, he is Khan. Yeah.
There's no way he couldn't be.
That's why I hate when they try and keep stuff a secret, like when we, like, obviously they want some stuff to be secrets, but Like, who else was he gonna be?
He's gonna be William Shatner's cousin slash sister.
um, or like, oh, I forget what it was now, but I think like for a while they were trying to hide the fact that Spider-Man was in Civil War, and then they finally gave that away in a trailer.
I was actually really happy. Like, I'm a huge Spider-Man freak, so when I saw that him like hold Captain Shield, the child in me was yelling,
Yeah,
but the adult in me was saying "Hooray!"
yeah, that was pretty awesome. And then he wasn't in the movie a lot, but he was totally.
He was in it enough.
Yeah, he was in it the perfect amount, which was really awesome. So yeah, do you know anything about Doctor Strange? Like, all I know is he uses magic, and his name is Stephen Strange, and he used to be a surgeon. But then he like broke his hands or whatever.
Yeah, like he got into a car wreck and ruined his hands and couldn't perform his surgery anymore, so he decided to travel the world and find someone to fix his hands. And it's the nerves in his hands that are messed up.
Mm.
So of course he finds this person called the Ancient One, and at first they tell him stuff like there's magic in the world, and then he doesn't believe it.
Yeah.
But then
which is like I get it on one level,
Yeah.
but on another level, when you've got like fucking the Hulk and Thor and all this other crazy shit going on, it's like
that's the least thing
yeah,
I wouldn't
it's
believe.
like maybe magic was real, just maybe like in our world. Totally, I get being like magic isn't real, but in that world, when all that other crazy stuff is real, like yeah, magic totally could be real.
Like, I still don't fully understand all what he can do. Like, I know he can time travel, open dimensions, levitate, astral project, all that stuff, and he has a lot of artifacts to help him with it. He has this huge book. I forget what the book is called, but then the Eye of Agamotto, which is basically all he gets all his power from. The reason why he's called the Sorcerer Supreme, basically. Then his cloak, it even like helps him learn like to fly and stuff. I think it's called like the Cloak of Levitation or something like that.
Oh, that's cool.
But yeah, like I said, I don't know too much about him. I just pick up on some things whenever I can.
Yeah. Do you know anything? Like, do you know who the bad guy in this movie is?
No, I do not. Like, I do know that Mordo becomes like his arch enemy, like the Joker to his Batman, basically. And
Mordo.
And Wong is like,
Some
he's
King
like
Wong.
his assistant.
Sorry, I
It
apologize.
was sexy.
That.
But yeah, he's like his assistant or something like that. Then I don't know who this guy is, because I know he is a big villain for Doctor Strange. I just don't know what his name is.
Who's the actor? Is it
I don't remember.
what's his face from James Bond and Hannibal?
I think so.
Or is it Chiwetel Ejiofor?
No, that's Mordo.
Oh, okay, Mordo.
Which is
But
a lot of people
like
bitched about that too.
Friends in this movie, aren't they? Or they seem like they
They're
are.
like comrades, you know?
Comrade.
Yeah, they fight the same battle basically. But Mordo wants to become the Sorcerer Supreme, so the Ancient One
he's,
already
like, jealous. Or
yeah,
whatever.
like the Ancient One sees evil in him, and that's why he won't give it to him.
I see.
So he like tries to kill the Ancient One, but the Ancient One banishes him, and then he joins up with Dormammu. Yeah. Yeah, it'd be awesome if they actually show like even a glimpse of him, but they better not show it like they did Galactus in Fantastic Four. I will be so pissed if they do.
Oh, like make him a giant cloud.
Yeah, like he's supposed to be
That
like a
was so
giant
dumb.
entity, you know,
Yeah.
like his hands reach over and try to grab the earth and shit.
Yeah. For a while there was a bunch of comic book movies that just made the bad guy a giant cloud. Like there was that
Smoke
one,
monster.
and then and then there was the Parallax and the Green Lantern movie.
I didn't like that either.
I didn't care for it, but it made a little bit more sense in that than it did in Fantastic Four. And there was one other one that I can't really remember right now, but it happened at least 3 times where they made
Giant clouds, monsters. Oh, let's fear the cloud.
Fear the cloud. You should fear the cloud, though. Not like clouds, but like all your stuff being stored on the internet. No, I'm just kidding.
For real, you should be aware of that too.
Like you should like keep an eye on it, but it's also awesome because like if you ever your phone breaks or whatever, then at least you can still get your photos and stuff.
And maybe other naked celebrity photos too.
Yeah, that's why you gotta be safe. I mean, in this day and age, like if you're gonna send naked photos, you should just do like Polaroids in the mail or something,
Yeah,
or like
Polaroid.
or like fax them to each other.
Hold up a second. Ding 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 ding.
It'll take longer, but it'll be more worth it because you like actually had to work to get
I
it.
love that confirmation you get from the paper. It's like fax has been sent. I'm like, alrighty then.
And you just gotta sit there waiting, hoping
Wait for it to come back.
Yeah, that would be funny. So, we were talking about this before we started recording, and you told me a funny story, so I have to bring it up again.
Oh God.
I was telling you that when I was younger, and sorry in advance for getting into this for some people, but to be fair, like we covered dirty stuff before, so I'm not really that sorry. You should know what the show is by now.
If you don't, shame on you.
But so I was saying that when I was younger, I would always buy condoms from like self-checkout or whatever, like try and avoid human interaction when I was buying them, because I thought it was weird and awkward and everything. But like, whereas now if I were to buy them, I would want to go somewhere where there was a cashier.
And brag
like
about it.
Cashier,
Yeah.
and not really even brag about it, but just like if they like, because I used to, when I worked at a gas station, like we used to keep the condoms in the back because kids would steal them a lot. I don't know if they were stealing them because they couldn't afford them, or they were stealing them because they were punk kids who were like, ooh, condoms.
Or they pretended they had that much sex.
Or something. They wanted to just throw them at each other or whatever.
Oh.
Not like used ones. Just like open a new one and just like
That's
chuck
just
it at
instantly
each other.
what I thought about.
But anyway, so I would always like, whenever like, one time I had a girl come in who bought them, and like her boyfriend or whatever was in the car, and I was like, if you want these, you're gonna have to make him, cause like, like that's the least the guy can do is like, buy the condoms himself. Like even if he gave her the money, I was still like, like if he wants them, if he wants to do this to you, he's gotta come in and buy those condoms himself. And I don't remember for sure, but I think he did come in. She thought it was funny. But then other times I would be like, I was kind of a pervy cashier now that I think about it. But I would always be like, oh yeah, like, I know what you're gonna do tonight or whatever. Or like a couple times, like, when people would leave, I'd be like, normally I'd say have a good night, but I already know you're going to. So, I don't know. But yeah, so now if I were to buy condoms, I would want there to be an actual human there.
You want an audience.
Not an audience, but, I want to see if they say anything or whatever, if they, like, look at me like, oh, condoms, I see. And I'd be like, yeah, that's right, you see it, alright.
I got 12 condoms here. I might be able to use one later on you.
One. But so that's my feelings on the subject and my little story that I didn't know I was going to tell, but I had to. But now you have a story.
Oh my God.
Of you and a mutual friend of ours. You can say his first name. Don't say his last
Fuck
name.
his name.
all you really need to know is that it was a guy that Eric was with when he bought it.
Anyways, me and my friend, I shall call him Schmerick for starters. Anyways, me and Schmerick decided to buy condoms this one day. Dude, don't ask me why we wanted to. I didn't even have a girlfriend at this point. He didn't have a girlfriend. We didn't even have dates. So us buying condoms was totally just out of the blue, and he just wanted to, I don't know, just whatever it is he wanted to feel.
But, okay, so here's my first question.
Okay.
did you guys like buy your own, or did you guys
No, he
like
just
you
bought
went
it.
halvesies on like a?
We went halves. I'm
See
telling you,
that makes
man.
it like
Even more awkward.
yeah, but also
Okay,
even more
anyways,
hilarious.
I gave him the money before we got to the cashier. So we go to the cashier, and she's already staring at us. And I had my back to her, too. I wasn't trying to meet eye contact with this chick. So she puts them in the bag, and we walk out to the front door. I shit you not. Literally 2 seconds within us walking to the front door, that goes off, and I was like, "Oh my god, dude, I am freaking out of here. Are you serious?" That's all we had was just 24 box of condoms, and that guy comes over, old guy comes over, looks inside the bag, looks at Derek, looks at the bag.
You mean Schmerich?
Yes, Schmerich. Sorry, ignore that one. Anyways, looks at Schmerich, looks at the bag, looks at me, then looks at the bag again, and he doesn't even bother checking the receipt. He just like, carry on. And I was like, I'm never coming here again with you. Ever again.
Oh, that is so funny. I wish I could have like, I wouldn't have wanted to be there and be involved because that would have made it even more awkward. He's like 3 guys, 1 box of condoms. What's going on here, boy?
Excuse me, sir. In order for us to do that, I need a bottle of Jack and 24 blank CDR discs.
But oh, I wish I could have just witnessed that. That would have been fun.
Dude, it was awkward. And even to this day, it's still freaking awkward just talking about it.
But it's so funny. It's such a great like. Oh, it's so funny to me. And it's good you can laugh about it too.
It's just so dumb. Oh my god.
But yeah, it's so funny.
Freaking Schmerich. Bastard.
I was wondering when you called him Schmerich, I was like, I wonder if he can make it through the whole time without saying his actual name.
I did.
Well, except for that.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
So yeah, that was a fun story. That tickled me quite a bit. I thought that was quite hilarious. Not in that way, you nasty. So, one more thing. Technically, it was 2 weeks ago for us, but for everybody listening, it was only 1 week ago. We discussed our pre-Walking Dead picks and everything. And now you re-listened to the episode, so you can correct me if I'm wrong. But I believe I still thought it was going to be... And also, just for the record, if you are behind for whatever
Spoilers,
reason...
please.
Yes, big spoilers. Big time spoilers.
I was glad to say I was wrong, but I'm actually mad because I was still kind of right.
Yeah, but okay, so here's... You predicted Maggie.
Yeah.
Did I say I thought it was going to be Glenn? Or did
Yes.
I? Okay. I know I wanted it to be Carl, but I knew it wasn't going to be
You
Carl.
and your hatred of Coral. But, yeah, like, it totally did not happen what I expected. Dude, I gotta be honest, dude, I lost it whenever freaking he almost made Rick cut his son's hand off. I pictured me and my kids right there. I lost it, dude.
I mean, that was crazy, but I kind of like...
Expected it, honestly.
Not expected it. I just, because I hate Carl, I was just like, do it! Do it! But just because, the more suffering that Carl can go through, the better.
Damn!
I mean, unless he's going to die. But, so... technically, I was half right, I guess you could say, because as it turns out, Glenn did die.
Yes.
Like he did in the comics. Very close. Like, if you look, like, I've seen side-by-side comparisons of the comic book and how the episode of the TV show went.
Pretty shocking.
Yeah, they were, like, almost exactly the same. But before Glenn died, and what was the most shocking to me, not so much that this other person died, but the fact that they killed 2 people, Abraham died first.
Yeah, I felt kind of bad for him, too, but he took it like a champ.
Yeah, even Negan said that when he hit him twice, and then he was like, oh, taking it like a champ, and whatever else he said, I forget. But then what was messed up was when he was gloating about it, Daryl got really mad and took a swing at Negan, and
Just the dumbest thing you can fucking do. Oh my
yeah,
God.
because like even Negan said it before anything happened. He was like, because Glenn went at him one time, and he was like, "All right, the first one's free," but he's like, "Just know that shit won't fly with me, so don't try and pull anything like that again." And then and I get it. Daryl was mad, and it was the heat of the moment and everything.
I still blame him though.
Yeah, I don't
I do.
and I know I probably should, because the rules were laid out very clearly, but at the same time, like, Negan's just a crazy person, so like you can't really blame Daryl because Negan went psycho. But so because Daryl swung at him and punched him in the face, Negan decided that he needed to kill another person, and that was when we got Glenn.
That was pretty shocking, dude.
I'll be honest, though, like, I 100% did not see that coming, so I was, when Abraham died, I was kind of mad, because I was like, oh, they went with the safe choice, and, and everything, and I was like, but then I was like, oh, but I guess that means at least Glenn's gonna be around for a little while longer, and then, I don't know, whatever, 5-10 minutes later, whatever it was, he fucking took out Glenn, too, and, like, it was bad and rough and everything, but I also thought it was a little bit funny how, like, when his eye was bulging out of his face and everything, and he was like, meh. Like,
You're
I know
terrible.
he was trying to talk to Maggie, and it was supposed to be a really sweet and tender moment, but like just the way he was doing it, like the way he was like Maggie, like I don't know,
Fucking Stephen Yeun.
and I can't really blame him. I mean, I guess it's a little bit his fault, but it's also like the people who do the show's fault for not telling him like, hey, maybe
Don't sound like a douche.
yeah, maybe less of that and more, something else. But but ultimately, that first episode was crazy and rough, and it was a good episode, but I'm disappointed because they make it seem like, and I know that this happened in the comics too, but they make it seem like Rick's kind of gonna punk out for a little bit and just go along with whatever Negan tells him to do, which is kind of a bummer, if you ask me.
I don't know. Hopefully, like,
I mean, eventually they're gonna
Yeah.
fight and whatever, because it can't be a compelling TV show if Rick is just the bitch every week.
I don't even think we'll see Rick for at least a couple more episodes. Honestly,
He's not gonna be in this next one. This next one's pretty much all Daryl and the people from
the
Negan's
Savior
group.
camp.
Yeah, which I don't know if I'm in the majority or in the minority on this one, but I absolutely hate it, and we had to deal with this a lot on Lost. But I hate it when like a big number. I hate it when like they split up the main cast and like a big number of cast members are not in episodes. Like the second episode, which just happened a couple days ago. It was just Morgan and Carol, and I like Morgan and I love Carol, and I was really intrigued in seeing all the Kingdom stuff, and they finally showed the tiger, which I was super excited about.
Freaking awesome.
But I was also severely disappointed that we didn't see anybody else.
What day is that even happening? Is that like the day of them like getting killed or abducted, or the day after?
Well, it's been a while, because she was, Morgan said she'd been asleep for
like a couple of days,
yeah,
right?
a couple of days, and then, and like what really sucks is like they both seem to not, like, and I guess they obviously don't know that anybody died,
Right.
but they probably don't even know that they had that encounter with the people, but like nobody's like, oh, we need to
Go back
and
group.
check on our people. Like, and I kind of get Carol because she was trying to run away from all of it anyway. But Morgan like promised to bring her back, so the least he could do would be like, hey, she's fine. She's living like right on the outskirts of town with these other people
She's got a tiger.
who have a tiger who could 100% help us out with this problem that we have with these guys, and then they can be like, yeah, we're gonna need that tiger because he beat to death our biggest guy and Glenn. Like Glenn, and don't get me wrong, Glenn's a super important character, but I don't know, he wasn't like, other than the fact that he was like a good shot and like he took orders well from Rick, he wasn't like a big dude, and I don't know how good of a fighter he was.
He was decent. He wasn't like army status, but
yeah,
he could brawl, I guess.
Yeah, he could. I mean, I don't know. He could probably handle himself one-on-one, but with how many of those people they have, I don't know. Like, one of the most intriguing things to me about the Saviors is that, like, last season they made it seem like Rick killed a significant number of his people.
Which that totally is not the case.
Yeah, like, he has
a ton of people.
Yeah, like an army.
And
like a big one, not like a tiny army.
Well, from what I saw and read in the comics, that all his guys are pretty adept at fighting, hunting, and killing,
Well, because I think a lot of them are, like, former military, if I remember correctly.
But, like, it just kind of sucks, though. Like, Rick doesn't have that handful of people who aren't. Even the people who are in, like, camps aren't that well adept at, like, fighting like that.
Like, one of his best guys was the guy who just got taken out.
Mm-hmm. Merle was in the military, too, but he's long gone now.
Was he?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't even know that.
He had military experience.
And then, Daryl is another good one, which is why they kidnapped Daryl. Well, they kidnapped Daryl because he punched Negan in the face.
Basically, they just crippled Rick's group, basically.
Yeah, Michonne's awesome, though, so she could be help. And, Maggie's going to be pissed, so that'll be good.
But she's still got that pregnancy thing going on.
Yeah, hopefully she has that zombie baby.
No zombie baby.
But, yeah, I don't know. The second episode was good and all, and I liked.
It was a nice change of pace.
King Ezekiel, and yeah, it was like there were actually funny moments, and like it was a lot lighthearted, a lot more lighthearted and everything than the first one was.
I love King Ezekiel. I thought he was pretty great.
I also liked how like at first he was coming off as like a total like jackass or whatever, and then like when right before Carol was getting ready to head out, he like told her his true story and everything, and he was all like, never bullshit a bullshitter and all that.
I love that he said that. That was pretty good.
Yeah. So that was pretty dope, and I even liked how like his King Ezekiel voice is different from his normal, regular Ezekiel voice.
He was like literally an actor, basically.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he even says, I guess he worked at a zoo or whatever, but he said, like, when he wasn't working at the zoo, he was also, like, an actor in the local community theater, which I thought was kind of dope.
Hashtag acting can save your life.
You and the hashtags.
I'm gonna have to start doing those for real now.
So, yeah, but, very... For a guy who is about to... for a guy being me who was pretty much ready to give up on the show, I'm actually quite I quite enjoyed these.
I was kind of hoping you wouldn't.
These first couple episodes, and we'll see where it goes from here.
It should start getting interesting now, because in the books they're having a lot more battles and stuff.
Yeah, my big problem is though, like if they stretch it out too long, like. I know, obviously, they want to make a full season or whatever, but, like, if Rick's just, like, constantly just, like, doing what Negan says and being like, no, we gotta listen to Negan,
I think,
and all that crap, then it could get old really fast, and I might not be.
I'm hoping they won't do that, because that war lasted quite a while in the comics.
Yeah.
Between him and Negan.
I mean, it was called All Out War, for crying out loud. The only thing I hope they change from the books that they did on the show, and they probably won't because he's playing a big part in the book again now, is I wish they would have killed him off. Negan. Because in the books, Rick just takes him prisoner, and now in these most recent books, he's like broken out, and now he's like with a new group trying to fight Rick again.
Bastard.
Which is why, you know, like as much as I love Batman and the fact that Batman doesn't kill, like sometimes it's just like, you know, there's only so many times the Joker can break out of Arkham before you're like, I'm just gonna snap this dude's neck. Like,
I don't know, man. Like, I wouldn't have that restraint. Like, okay, well, I put you in jail, you get out, kill more people, I put you back in jail, get out again and do it all over again. It's like a never-ending fucking story.
Yeah, exactly. Which is why I hope in the comics, I hope when this new story arc is over, he decides to kill Negan and doesn't keep him prisoner again. And in the show, I hope they don't even wait that long to kill him. I hope they kill him, like, I don't know, by the end of the season or something. Maybe early next season. Which is still a long ways away.
It
but,
is.
It'd be better than, like, you know, him sticking around for like 3 or 4 years before anything happened.
But I got hope for this season. I mean, I'll be honest, I really did not like the 6th season. The beginning of it was really freaking slow, and it actually started getting good after the mid-season finale.
Yeah.
Is when it started getting good. If they wait that long to start doing anything interesting, then, I mean, the show's really going to go downhill from there.
Yeah. And like I said, I get so sick and tired of them constantly separating the group.
It's annoying.
And, like, just, you know, like, hey, let's only focus on this guy for a week. Like, friggin' last year, they did a whole episode with Morgan's backstory, and, like, Morgan was the only main character in the episode.
Which was weird.
And it was a decent episode, but,
I
like,
liked it, but it was just weird.
Like, yeah, it didn't sit right in
I feel like we were watching a rerun of fucking Karate Kid or something.
Yeah. But anyway, that,
So, guys, don't give up on the show. Keep watching it.
or do. It doesn't really matter. Cause, like,
Not
20
the
million, 20 million people are watching that show. Unfortunately, for better or worse, it's not going anywhere for
Nice.
It wasn't quite 20 million. I think it was like 18, but still close enough. It's like the highest watch show that's not like sports. So
I'm more curious about the Game of Thrones when it's going to start coming out again.
it's gonna be a while for that
I
one.
know. I want it to show up soon.
Yeah, me and Aaron talk like so much about that show, 'cause it's so good. But that's one show that, like, even when you think like, oh, when you think you know where it's going, you don't.
No.
And like, which I absolutely love. But the other thing I like a lot about that show is like, you never get tired of it, 'cause like, when certain characters start to get on your nerves, like, that they find, you know, they push the boundary just enough to where, like, you know, like with Joffrey, like,
Fuck him.
like, you hated Joffrey, like, so much, and then you were like, alright, if he doesn't die soon, I'm gonna stop watching the show, and then they kill him in that episode. And then, like, with Ramsay this year, like, you know, you were like, oh, if they don't get rid of Ramsay, I'm gonna stop watching the show, and then Ramsay died this season.
Thank God.
So,
I gotta take out of my damn nerves.
so, like, I feel like they don't stretch anything out. Like, I feel, you know, they time everything out perfectly, and now that we know for sure that the next 2 seasons are going to be the last 2 seasons, I think the timing's even going to be better now than it has been in the past.
I think I have to choose between these, either Natalie Dormer or Emilia Clarke.
You can have Natalie, I'll take Emilia.
Alright, fine.
I love her. And it makes me sad that, like, Aaron doesn't like her character, and I'm just like, how? Like, she's such a great character. And
Which one, Daenerys?
Yeah, she's also beautiful. She has those crazy eyes, though.
I don't know, dude. I still think she's like the main villain of the whole freaking show, honestly.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, how can you not root for her? She's even got Tyrion, who's like everybody's favorite character.
Yeah, but you think about it, dude, like,
and
I
you know
rewatched it.
Her and Jon Snow are gonna, like,
do
team up. I hope not.
They're gonna do it. You know they're gonna
uncle
do it.
And or not uncle, their aunt and whatever.
You really think
aunt
they give a damn
nephew.
about that? He doesn't know that. And she don't know that.
Yeah, they don't know it, but that's and like granted, this is a show where twin brother and sister have sex with each other very often.
Mark my words. I
but
bet you anything that's gonna happen.
No,
I
I
bet you.
don't.
I do.
Even I don't think that they'll go
I
that
do.
far.
Because I've noticed things in that show.
They'll team up. Like she's only gonna get with somebody if it's gonna give her more power and like.
Well, he is king of the North.
Yeah, that's true.
And the North is bigger than Westeros.
And like fire and ice together, like that's pretty awesome.
The reason why I say she's the main villain of the show is she is the Mad King's daughter, right?
Yeah,
and
but she wants to take
listen
the
to
crown
this. She
back
wants to
from-
take the crown back because she says it's in her bloodline, which it is true, yes. But the way she's going about it is the exact same reasons why he lost the crown, because she says that she just burned everybody to the ground, and Tyrion even tells her, hey, that's exactly what the Mad King did, and look what happened to him.
Yeah, but see, that's why she's not the villain, because she's actually going to listen to him.
Well, she better listen to him.
Like, she wants to be better than her dad.
I don't know. I've read a lot of things. Even George R. Martin says that just because you think a character is one way, don't expect them to stay that way.
Which is why I think you're wrong. Also, just like I don't know, dude. I
think
see
she's
it.
the main villain.
Like
honestly,
and like how can she be a villain when she's about to go up against Cersei, who's like this woman we've hated since season 1?
Out of all the people in there, there's only like 2 or 3 of them I seen to actually genuinely have good intentions, which is Jon Snow, of course, Tyrion.
I think Tyrion's only self-serving. Like he's done good things. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think he
like betterment.
has
I think
good
like
intentions.
hell if he didn't do things out of like the goodness of his own heart, he would have just let them run over King's Landing and kill Cersei and his Joffrey and all that. And I don't see why he wouldn't. I would have, to be honest. I said, screw it.
I guess that's true. Because they were never very good to him. But I don't know, dude. I honestly like.
I think they're gonna do it, dude, because fanness,
really,
dude,
no.
is really gonna.
I don't
drag
think
into
there
that.
are fans who want
My
that
sister.
to happen, though. Well, your sister, like, I don't know. Like, does she still, now knowing that they're related, does she still want them to hook up?
Yes.
That's weird.
I told my sister, I said, why? She said, because they deserve to, like, have that moment. I'm like, why? I said, they're related now. So, like, when they find out, it's going to be even more awkward.
Like, I don't know. Like, the book series is called A Song of Fire and Ice. So I genuinely think it's going to come down to those two. And I don't know. I like both characters. I would probably say I root more for Jon than for her. But I don't see her as a villain. I really don't. Like,
I do. I see it. Just the way she acts and the way she talks. Because, like, okay, she tried to do good things and all that, but she ultimately got a whole bunch of people killed.
Yeah, but not, like, purposefully. I mean, she's trying to free slaves. Like, come on,
If she
man.
truly wanted to do that, she should have just burned them all down and just took the slaves and just left.
But like you said, she can't be like her dad and kill everybody.
In that case, dude, I would have done it,
But
honestly.
She's got to do it in a way where, like, people are going to follow her. And obviously, by freeing the slaves will follow her anywhere. But she can't kill everybody who doesn't agree with her. Like, because that would make her a bad queen.
She is a bad queen already.
She's learning, though. And that's why she has Tyrion, because Tyrion's going to teach her the ways. And if Jorah ever comes back from wherever the hell he disappeared to, Jorah's going to teach her the ways as well.
Jorah.
Jorah
Sir Friendzone.
Sir Friendzone. Sir Stony McFriendzone. Stony
That was
McFriendzone.
nasty.
Friendzone.
Ew.
Yeah, like that kind of stuff always weirds me out. Like, that weirds me out more
What,
than
the
like
grayscale?
yeah, like turning into stone or whatever, and like having the scales or whatever. That weirds me out more than friggin' like blood and guts and all that crazy stuff. But I don't know. But on that note, I don't know, dude. I genuinely, I love that show, and I can't wait to find out. I kind of wish, like, it would only be one more season, just so we could see how it's going to end.
I kind of wish they, like, made the episodes longer if it's going to be a short seasons.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Like and believe we've mentioned this before, but the final two seasons are both going to be like, I think one's going to be 6 episodes and one's going to be 7, and I hope, my personal hope is that the shorter one is next year, because I'd rather the last season be the one with the extra episode, but I think it might be the other way around. I think next year might be 7 episodes and the year after that is going to be 6, but I could be wrong. I don't know. We'll see. So one more story before we go, and trying to keep this one short because, like I said, we're gonna talk more tomorrow. And granted, we'll have the movie to discuss, but I want to save some topics of discussion for tomorrow as well. But so I just read before we started recording that The Simpsons has been renewed for 2 more seasons, which will effectively mean that it's going to run through at least season 30. So,
holy hell.
In other words, and I know you've only watched a handful of episodes with me, and that's the only exposure to The Simpsons you've ever had, but that show's going to outlive everyone.
Dude.
That show, like, even when we're in our apocalyptic wasteland...
What happens when the actors
America
can't have their voice anymore?
Well, that's what I'm curious, because they've had a couple people over the course of the show, like, who do voices die, but they've, and not to say luckily, because it's tragic that any of these people have died, because most of them have died relatively young, but, the people who have died have been, like, not necessarily background characters, but not any of the core cast, like, the Simpson family themselves, or like people who are in almost every episode. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess that's why it's good that they had adults do stuff, because if you had like a child do it, like like, you know, if a child actually played Bart or Lisa, then like, you know, like 5 to 10 years they'd, you know, get older and they wouldn't sound like the kid they were.
I like they've been the same age for 30 years.
Yeah. See, I would love, and they did it one time on South Park, and I kind of wish they'd do it one time on Simpsons, where they just finally get past 1 year. Like, because pretty soon, I think it might even be this week, which will have happened by the time this gets put up, but I think their 600th episode is this Sunday.
Holy hell.
So, you know, they've had more, like, technically speaking, they've had enough episodes to do almost 2 years. Like, if every episode was just 1 day in the life of the Simpsons,
cow, dude,
like,
that's
they've done
crazy.
almost enough to go through 2 years. So I kind of wish, and I get
They
it.
should age them.
Like,
then.
I get it's like a cartoon and everything, so they really don't have to do anything
They
like
should,
that.
though.
But I think it would be cool if they at least aged them like 1 year. Like,
I can't believe that show's been on for 30 years, dude. Like,
well,
are
28.
Well,
30 once these other 2 years that they just got picked up for.
I would run out of ideas, honestly.
I mean, they have. Like, and I don't watch every episode, but I watch it, you know, at least a handful a season. And they're still, for the most part, funny, but sometimes I'll watch one and I'll be like, oh, they totally did this. Like, and it's funny because South Park does an episode called Simpsons Did It, which is basically like, no matter what idea South Park has, they're like, oh, Simpsons has already done it, because Simpsons has been on for fucking ever.
I've never seen that show either.
I know, which is crazy. Both you and, like, Aaron's seen a handful of episodes, but I can't get him to commit to it, and it's such a great show. Like, especially this last couple of years, because they've gotten, like, now, like, every episode, like, has to do with the past episode. So they're basically doing, like, season-long stories. Yeah, they're doing continuity now.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense.
Which I think is genius.
Excuse me.
Which I think is genius, especially because last year they had, like, they had a new principal come on the show, and he was PC principal. And, like, it just... it was hilarious, because, like, he was trying to make the whole town of South Park more PC and stuff, and, like, that was kind of the whole season was about that.
I finally watched Team America, too, for the first time.
Oh, well, I guess we're going off on a South Park tangent. Yeah, I love that movie. Like, it's definitely weird.
It is.
But it's very much in their wheelhouse and their their sense of comedy, their sense of humor, and everything. And it's it's very funny. It's also very,
Very racy.
yeah, but that's kind of the point. That's like what they do. Like, and what I love about them is they make fun of everything. Like, they say nothing is off limits. Like,
I can tell like they mean it too.
like they've made fun of every, like, every race, every religion, every, like, like, stereotype.
Tom Cruise is
every,
a voice
like,
actor. Would you call me? I seen that part.
That one was so funny. And Tom Cruise locked himself in the closet. That was funny. But anyway, that show is also, I think, scheduled to go for another like 3 or 4 years. So
Holy cow!
those two shows and probably Family Guy are shows that will never end. I think I'm surprised, to be honest, that American Dad is still around.
I actually kind of do like that show.
I used to, but I haven't enjoyed it in a couple, which is why I don't really ever watch it anymore, except for every once in a while somebody will like, oh, you gotta check this episode out.
I love the voice of Stan. It's just awesome.
Yeah, but I hate Roger so much, and
Yeah.
and they force him on the show too much now. But so yeah, basically Simpsons, South Park, and probably Family Guy are gonna outlive everybody who's listening to this.
Hey, at least we'll have good TV whenever the apocalypse happens.
Well, hopefully. I mean, Family Guy is one of those shows where, like, I've come around on it again. I've gone, like, I love the first few seasons, and there are a few seasons that aren't so great, but now I'm kind of back into where I think it's funny again. And every once in a while they still have an episode I think is kind of dumb, but overall, it's quite enjoyable. So yeah, we have gone longer than I had planned on, but this is like perfect time to stop. And like I said, we're gonna do another one tomorrow.
I can't do it, man.
We'll have to come up with some more stuff to talk about. Although
This time we weren't really prepared for this one.
but it worked out. I mean, that's what I love. Like
I ramble.
I like being prepared, so we have know in case we run out of stuff to talk about. But sometimes, like, my favorite thing to do is, just talk. Like, see where the conversation takes you. I mean...
Yes. And we'll have debates, too, about things.
Like, wrong. No, I'm just kidding. We'll debate about stuff, but, like, I never want to, get into
I will
politics.
punch you in the face.
But, yeah, anyway. So... Stay tuned next week for our review of Doctor Strange. The only reason why we recorded tonight before we see the movie is because I wanted to give everybody a chance to see the movie, because when we talk about it, we're going to spoil the shit out of it.
And I'm loaded up on Texas Roadhouse right now.
And hopefully it's really good, because we can...
I'm sure
we'll talk a lot more about it if it's really good. Unless it's, like, absolutely terrible, because... I could talk about, like, as much as I can talk about how great Civil War is, I can equally talk about how much I hated Batman versus Superman. So it's kind of like a trade-off. It's, like, if it's just okay, then we won't have much to say, but if it's really good or really bad, I'm sure we'll have a lot to say about it. So anyway, stay tuned for that and whatever else we decide to talk about. And thanks again for being my guest this week, man.
I do my best.
Aaron will be back, I promise. I don't know when, but I promise he will be back. But like I said, I'm probably going to record 3 or 4 episodes while I'm down here. So
hell yeah.
It might be another month before you hear Aaron's sweet voice. But if we get together, I'll hold the ones that I record and put the one with Aaron up, just because I feel like I owe it to people. But if we don't get together, then obviously...
I will have to be your substitute, which I'm sorry.
You're our substitute teacher, and yes. You're a fine substitute.
I do my best, like I said.
Anyway, that'll be it for this week. So, for the Morose Project, I'm Brad Rosen.
I'm Eric Sinaceros.
And always remember, fat guys try harder.
What puppy? What puppy?